Thank you very much. I want to start by asking you the question of, how can hospitality make your dreams come true? For me, my hospitality dream started out as a pool boy. While in high school, I'd heard about an Ivy League program where you can learn and study about hotels and the hospitality industry, and I was convinced from that moment that I wanted to go to the Cornell Hotel School. So I asked myself, how could I get there? Rather than the typical high school job, I wanted to work at a 5-star hotel. I walked straight into the human resources office at the Four Seasons Hotel and told them I'd take any job they were willing to give me. That job ended up being a pool boy. I catered to guests sunbathing by the pool by spraying them with Evian water and bringing cucumbers to rest over their eyes. I wanted to learn every position possible. In one year, that even meant me being Santa Claus on Christmas. The guests would come and sit on my lap and ask me for that brand new Ferrari they've been wanting all year. At the end of my shifts, I'd go to the garage and get in my car to drive home. And I'd notice a lot of the staff start their walks home. It was at moments like these that I felt extremely fortunate. Hospitality is more than just a 9-to-5 job. It's a lifestyle and it's a way of living. I felt that these skills are very transferable outside of the industry as well. They can help you build confidence and leadership and are based on the ideas of compassion and selflessness. These skills can be used professionally and personally. After a number of years of working at the Four Seasons, I did my Cornell alumni entrance interview with the hotel's general manager and was accepted to the Cornell Hotel School. My dream had come true. Yet, I would soon learn that my dream would evolve into something much bigger. No longer was my dream just about hospitality, but it was using hospitality as a way to help others and achieve my dreams and help others achieve theirs as well. I was provided with this opportunity, and I wanted to share that experience with others. Through my travels while in school, I went to a number of developing countries, and I began to realize that there's many young adults who just need a little bit of opportunity. Once that opportunity is provided to them, they can just run with it and move mountains. This became even more apparent on a trip to Cambodia. Cambodia, despite booming in tourism and hospitality growth, deep down is a country rebuilding itself from the Cambodian genocide. I asked myself, how can I utilize the growing hospitality industry to alleviate poverty in local communities? My third year into school, I set out an organization to do just that. At the time, it was just a dream. I vividly remember ordering t-shirts from this random t-shirt company in Cambodia, and I was going to start selling these t-shirts on campus. It took forever for these t-shirts to arrive, and I essentially had forgotten that I even ordered them. And then one day at my fraternity house here on campus, this huge crate arrived, and it was this totally foreign object, and everybody didn't know what it was or what to do with it. And luckily, I arrived home shortly after and was thrilled to see these t-shirts. I started selling them around campus to my friends, classmates, professors, and faculty. And the sales of these t-shirts became the operating budget for the first year of the organization. Shortly after graduating, I decided to pursue this dream full-time, to start an organization to help underprivileged youth be prepared for hospitality jobs. I did not know what I was doing at the time, but I dove in headfirst, packed my bags, and flew to Cambodia. I started by teaching hospitality classes to eager young adults at an orphanage. One of the very first people I met was Srey Yim, who was the cook at the orphanage. Srey Yim would soon become my Cambodian mother. Despite not speaking the same language or being able to communicate, she reminded me so much of my great-grandmother, who I affectionately referred to as Nanny. Just like my nanny had always done, Srey Yim was always trying to fatten me up. She'd give me all kinds of fried chicken, and she'd make various recipes of fish soup. I think I had fish soup every day got to the point where I had somebody bring me a bottle of Tabasco sauce from home where I would sneak it in a little bit. She was always there. She'd bring me tiger balm to put on my mosquito bites. She'd have fresh coconut juice and all kinds of remedies for the upset stomach you so often experience in Cambodia. I was there to teach hospitality, but Srey Yim taught me so much about Cambodian hospitality. Her hospitality came with a gracious demeanor, smiles, and of course, love. It's estimated that approximately 1.7 million Cambodians perished during the Khmer Rouge led by Pol Pot between 1975 and 79. That's approximately 20% of the country. Srey Yim survived the Khmer Rouge by cooking rice for the soldiers. She lost most of her family during this time, including her husband. Her remaining family refers to her as Pol Pot's rice chef, as she shares stories of cooking the perfect rice for Pol Pot during the Khmer Rouge. It was during this period in Cambodia where they lost most teachers, doctors, and lawyers. Today, Cambodia is a very young country. Approximately 60% of the youth is under the age of 25. But Cambodia has lost so much more. Youth today, they don't have their own dreams. They're not thinking long-term or where they want to be in the future. So many times they're just thinking in the moment and thinking about how they're going to pay for that next meal. Engagement of youth is especially important for these reasons in Cambodia. The organization started out with a group of approximately a dozen students from the orphanage where I was working, pictured here. At the time, they were all over 18 and ready to transition into full-time jobs, and we were going to do that by training them in hospitality. We started by moving the students out of the orphanage and into apartments. At the time, we really had no idea what we were doing, and we'd get together every night or every so often at what became our favorite restaurant. And of all things, it was a Mexican restaurant. We just did interviews with some of the students for a film we're making in Cambodia, and we asked them what their dreams are. And so many, I think for this reason, replied, "I want to open a Mexican restaurant." We went to go buy them all their living essentials: uniforms, mosquito nets, blankets, mats, everything they needed. I was there teaching the students, but they taught me so much more. I never knew I could just cook a meal on just 25 cents. Over the years, the organization has expanded considerably to reach hundreds of young adults each year with a team composed of exceptional Cambodian leaders. I tell people, and they can't believe it, you have teachers, you have a classroom, you have a school. I'm amazed by what our students and team have been able to accomplish. One of these students was actually Srey Yim's granddaughter, Sokia, pictured here. Sokia now works at Amman Resorts, one of the leading hotels in Cambodia, in their restaurant. Hospitality has helped Sokia transition as a girl out of the orphanage into an amazing, independent young woman. She now supports her grandmother, Srey Yim, as well as other family members. These are lucrative jobs in Cambodia, with students earning well over 3 times the national average income, working at top hotels, including Starwood's Le Méridien and Park Hyatt. Our students, many who have experienced homelessness, abandonment, hunger, and abuse, are now breaking the poverty cycle and are independent through hospitality. No matter what background they come from, I have discovered that they all have potentials to be dreamers. Many are now getting married, having kids, buying motorbikes, buying homes, and also in investing in themselves by funding their own university education. Personally, I'm not a very emotional person. After spending 4 years in Cambodia, you become somewhat accustomed to all these struggles going on around you on a daily basis. But the other day I was sent this photo, and it got me choked up. It's challenging to quantify our work in the sense that we're working with people and working with their lives. We feel very strongly in the ripple or multiplier effect that we're having on the students, their families, and their communities. When I first saw this photo, I was extremely proud. This is of 11 students who recently graduated from our one-year training program with their families and our team. We are a family and a community, and we all have our own aspirations and dreams. I want to touch on a few of the people pictured here and tell you their stories. Osman is our director in Cambodia. He himself graduated from the Cornell Hotel School and grew up in a developing country. It's his dream to bring a similar project back home. Mr. Po works with the students on our organic garden and composting. Kandara, our program coordinator, was able to leave Cambodia for the very first time this month on a holiday to Thailand. She also got her very first apartment as well. Dara, our hospitality coordinator, he himself grew up in a poor family and got a scholarship to study hospitality. Both Dara and Kandara are currently pursuing their MBAs. Ratnak was one of our first Cambodian employees and works as a hospitality instructor. Him and his family run their own restaurant on the side as well, and every month he saves part of his salary to go buy bricks to build a new home he's building for his family. His son is sponsored to private school, and he was ranked number 2 in his class this year, which he's extremely proud of. Sok Nak was brought on as our first Cambodian social worker and graduated from one of the first degree programs in social work in Cambodia. Osman, our director, he rented a bus and had to go around and pick up all the families in their rural communities. However, many of the students are orphans and don't have their own families. There are 2 people in particular who are missing from this photo. One of the students pictured in this photo, Sok Chan, is missing her parents. It's become very common practice in Cambodia for people to sign contracts to go work in factories in neighboring countries. Both of Sok Chan's parents have done just this, and it is Sok Chan's dream to be able to bring them back home to Cambodia. These are just some of the approximately 50 students who graduated from our one-year training program this past year. They will be the future leaders and managers in hospitality. I came to the realization that dreams cannot be quantified. Dreams are contagious and extend beyond the individual to their families and communities. It reaches their parents, their neighbors, and ultimately the country and culture. The students are dreaming in ways they would have never before. How do I know that this idea works? I know because these students are now achieving their dreams. This has been my personal journey from pool boy to Cornell to Cambodia. But I can assure you that the student stories are far more inspirational and fascinating than my own. My hope is that the future generations of Cambodia can all be born dreamers. Everyone deserves to have a dream. I'm not sure what is next, but I believe in the power of a dream, and I will keep dreaming. So I want to end by asking you, what is your dream, and how will you make it come true? Thank you very much.